Happy Sunday night. Is it happy? Should we use the word happy before Sunday? I hate Sundays, but only because you see that annoying work week just around the corner. Anyways, I hope you had a nice weekend, and there's a good possibility by the time you're watching this, it's Monday. So I hope the start of your week is going okay. My sympathies for everyone going through it. On today's show, it's going to be a short and sweet one. I'm making it live. I didn't announce this, so my apologies. If you want to come on the show and you need a little heads up, but we are going live, and I will welcome the audience if they want to join me tonight, because why not? You've got feelings, you've got thoughts, you've got opinions, and that's what this show's all about. If you want to join me, you can. And if you don't, I understand, because the summer of nothingness continues for the Golden State Warriors. A summer where the team, the organization's just sitting back doing jack shit. It's ridiculous what is going on when we're talking about the Golden State Warriors, and we're talking about Jonathan Kuminga, and we're talking about this stalemate that has no end in sight. Kevin Dan was on the show a couple days ago, and we briefly touched on the latest offer, but I wanted to kind of expand on that a little more and express an opinion. And the opinion is this. I'll just say it right now before we dive in. The Golden State Warriors are negotiating in bad faith. And I'm going to explain what I mean in just a second. Steven's picks. Thank you. Yes, that is the rumor. Likes and subscriptions goes without saying. That's important. Please subscribe. We're slowly approaching our 1-year anniversary, and the fact that we're nearly at 5,000 subs is something I'm incredibly proud of and thankful for. And yeah, hit that like button because the YouTube algorithm supports it. James A., you're absolutely right. Not a goddamn thing done. And Steven's picks, going back to you real fast again. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the support. Truly do. And then you got Jersey starting to show off, saying this is all Kaminga's fault. Bold opinion. And look, if you really do believe that, and you're not just trolling and trying to get a rise, and congratulations, your comment was highlighted, jump on the show. Show your face. At least engage in some interpersonal discourse, if you will, so we can all understand why you think this is Kaminga's fault. This is not Kaminga's fault, side note. Again, nice troll job there. But again, explain why you think this is Jonathan Kaminga's fault. Come on the show. The link, I thought it was posted. Let me try this again. The link should be available in the chat if you want to join us. Is it there now? It's there now. Come join the party. Let's talk about why the Warriors are screwing Kuminga over. And if there's anything on your mind besides that, jump on the show. We've also got a new sponsor I'm going to give some love to right now. Why don't we do that? And why don't we talk Warriors? This is the Golden Days.
They always find something to nitpick, and that's because there's expectations for us to win. Leave me alone this summer.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. In a minute, I'ma need a sentimental man or woman to pump me up.
What? You're reading on Instagram. Gonna get you hip. Hope everyone's doing well on a Sunday night. Oh. Welcome to the Golden Days. If you heard me laughing during that little build up there, it's because I just saw this comment. And maybe I shouldn't be laughing. Maybe that's actually a little mean. Mohammed Olavi in her chat has. I admire the commitment. I admire the dedication. The belief that Doo-Wop Reith is the player that's missing for the Golden State Warriors. I have some bad news for you, brother. The Portland Trailblazers signed him. It's no longer an option, at least in terms of free agency. They can still try and get him in a trade. And side note, we did an episode about 4 or 5 months ago where I presented the best possible trades that the Warriors could do for Jonathan Kuminga, if that's the avenue that they want to go down. And without question, when you look at the other 29 teams in the NBA, there's one in particular that could give a haul back, which would make some sense, which would make things even, and that's the Portland Trailblazers. And I'm not, I haven't done my research lately on their current roster. This was done again 5-6 months ago, but they had young assets to give back. they could, and Duop Reith could have been on the table. I'm sorry, Muhammad Alavi. Duop Reith is no longer available. JT, friendly reminder. I love the joking, but I don't want to ever disrespect the audience. I just have squinty eyes. I don't know why my face does this, but when I smile, I get squinty eyes. Does it mean that I'm not a stoner? Hell no, dude. I love puffing. But when it's program time, I need to stay sharp. Dude, look, if I could pull it off, if I could be a functional podcast host while getting my weed on, I'd do it. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just not sharp enough to multitask at that level. Forgive me. And JT, it's all good. It was a good excuse to bring some levity. Let's give some love to our sponsors real quick, and then I'm going to explain why I think the Warriors are acting in bad faith. And again, this doesn't mean that Kuminga's agent should be absolved from this. This doesn't mean that Steve Kerr should be absolved from this. I mean, if we're going to really ultimately look at what problem number one is, it's the Warriors head coach. And what I mean by that is, let's say the Warriors told Kerr, pack your bags. It's been a hell of a run. Time for some fresh blood in here. Kaminga would probably agree to a 2-year, $40 million contract. Kaminga would probably agree to anything the front office is proposing. His issue's Kerr and the way he's been treated by Kerr. But again, and this is where I'm going to start pointing the finger more and more at Joe Lacob, the owner, because ultimately he's the one that's absolving Kerr, that's giving him this endless free pass that holds him to zero accountability for his time and again very questionable actions that are not resulting in modern times to success. So Joe's got to do something here. This is ugly. Yeah, Godzilla the creator, and this is where I do think Joe Lacob deserves some blame here. Do something about it. You have a head coach who's insanely egotistical. I have been using the word obtuse for years now. I need to get that drop, by the way, from Shawshank Redemption every time I start saying that. But he behaves in a very obtuse manner in terms of the stubbornness, the egotistical decisions, thinking he's too smart to just abandon his one-trick pony system, the motion offense that he's been running for 11, 12 years now, that, half the NBA runs now. Nothing ingenious about it, nothing innovative about it anymore. Anyways, but Joe deserves some blame. And we'll talk about that and so much more in just a minute after we give some love to our sponsors. I don't have a lot of copy for this first read. I don't have any copy, actually. I'm sure I'm going to have some graphics. And I think with the FanDuel sponsorship, the goal here is for every episode to start the show by giving you some awesome lines from FanDuel. But we're in the summer. Now, the Valkyries are in play. And tomorrow with Sophia Jones, we're going to talk about that plenty. But FanDuel is now a sponsor. So go check out the FanDuel Sportsbook. It has a hell of a lot of options. We're going to do a whole episode dedicated to futures. But because the Warriors right now have 9 players under contract, and because we have no clue what they're going to look like a month from now, 2 weeks from now, whenever this thing gets resolved, there's no way we can bet on them. So, I don't even know what their future line is right now. I don't even know if the bookies have set a line. But once the picture is clear, we're going to dedicate a program to what FanDuel is providing in terms of odds for the Golden State Warriors. I did check out the FanDuel Sportsbook to see if there were odds for Valkyries head coach Natalie Nakase and her odds for winning coach of the year in the Valkyries expansion debut. But those odds were not presented. You could have bet on MVP, but I didn't see odds for coach of the year. Regardless, FanDuel Sportsbook, they're now a part of the program. Chef's kiss to you, because when you've got FanDuel funding your operation, you're doing something right. So we're trucking along. And thanks to the FanDuel Sportsbook, and thanks also to what's now becoming a long-term sponsor, a cover band that's killing it this summer. Every time I go to their social media account, they're in some new city. They've got an audience of thousands, if not tens of thousands. They're killing it. And they could be killing it for your event. The band is called Decades. Their website is decadesofficial.com. You can follow them on Facebook and Instagram at decadesofficial. That's where I've been seeing all the action that they've been involved with. And if they're updating their website, these images that you're going to see will likely showcase some of these recent events. And what kind of events can you hire Decades for? It could be a personal event, like a wedding, like an anniversary, a birthday. Maybe it's just a good old-fashioned backyard rager. And side note, if that's going on, reach out to your Uncle Cy. I will make an appearance for any type of festivity where Decades is playing. Maybe it's for a corporate fundraiser. Maybe you're thinking of the Catalina wine mixer and how to bring that level of vibe to your event where you need some prestige, worldwide level performances. Decades can do that and so much more. Niners football is just around the corner. That means Decades for 8+ times a year. 8 or 9. I don't know how many of the home games the Niners have this season, but next door to Levi Stadium at Great America, they've got what's called red zone rallies. These are pregame festivities, and Decades is the live band for that. Uncle Eddie DeBartolo, whose name I'm going to evoke on the show tonight, they played a set for him at his private compound in Montana. Eddie D's got taste. If he's hiring Decades, go hire them. Go hire them yourselves and thank us later. Email Kyle at atomicmusicgroup.com. Again, Kyle at atomicmusicgroup.com to book an awesome band that plays everything from the 50s to today. Chuck Berry to Katy Perry. They can play it for your event, and they can play it with a level of quality and class deserving of what you're looking for. Go to Decades Official, book them, and thanks us later. When it comes to the Golden State Warriors and the latest saga surrounding this bullshit that is the Jonathan Kuminga standoff, if you will. And I mentioned this briefly when Kevin Dana was on the show the other day, but I wanted to revisit it because when I have company men on the program or women, it's hard to get into the nitty gritty and really drop some potentially edgy takes, some strong opinions, if you will. So I wanted to do a show tonight before Sophia comes back tomorrow because, again, Sophia works for the Valkyries. In essence, she works for Joe Lacob. Kevin Dana works for Joe Lacob. So it's hard to get objective analysis from them. And it's also hard from my perspective to put them in positions where I'm asking hard questions. So we're doing this tonight. And right now, I can say this with certainty. Joe Lacob is blowing it. Joe Lacob is not making sound decisions right now when it comes to this fiasco, better known as the Jonathan Kuminga standoff. And Anthony Slater wrote a piece the other day for ESPN where he finally provided some legitimate context, some actual information that is specific and that provides a clear picture in terms of what we're looking at and what we're talking about. And what he wrote in his piece is that the Warriors, and this is insulting, are offering 2 years, $45 million. Adding insult to injury is the fact that what they want in this contract, it isn't just that they're offering 2 years, $45 million, which, yes, to the average person is a shitload of money, would make you wealthy and give you lifetimes, plural, of financial security. But we got to be realistic here. These are NBA players we're talking about. They get paid a ton of money, obviously. They're top-level performers, entertainers. They're the elite of elite when it comes to a sport that is widely popular across the globe. And so the pragmatism needs to be in play here when we're talking about these numbers. 2 years, $45 million is grossly insulting. And again, the insult to injury part of this is that the Warriors in this offer, they're not just lowballing Kaminga with 2 years, $45 million. They're also telling him that if he agrees to this, he needs to waive a provision that is designed to protect him, which is that because of his current situation in terms of experience and the fact that this would be a new deal through restricted free agency. All I know is that if he agrees to a contract like this, a 2-year contract that's based off what he's already earned and his current position, the CBA would protect Kaminga with a no trade clause. It would automatically be integrated into the contract via the CBA. So the Warriors are not only lowballing Kaminga by offering him far less than what other players in his draft class have earned. And again, case in point, Jalen Green. And this is likely the deal that Kaminga would love at this point. Something like what Green got from the Rockets. And again, Jalen Green, $146 million guaranteed. that he's earned in his career, that he will earn up to his contract expiring. You look at Scotty Barnes, who has not proven jack shit with the Toronto Raptors, selected just 3 places higher than Kuminga, and he's got $257 million guaranteed. You look at Jalen Suggs, who is far from being a polished product, who is not exactly an offensive machine, who hasn't shown he's durable, but he's getting $180 million guaranteed. Josh Giddey's in a very similar position. And again, this is where the CBA has failed these restricted free agents, and these restricted free agents have been failed by their agents for putting them in this position, for not having the foresight to see what the landscape's going to look like in 2025. But one last case in point, Franz Wagner, who got selected after Kaminga, who is a 32.2%, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's correct. 32.2% three-point shooter. That's not a good number. That's an okay number. That's not a good number. He has $247 million guaranteed coming to him. Yet the Warriors think 2 years, $45 million is a respectable offer to Jonathan Kuminga. And so that is why Jersey, when you go back to the beginning of the show, and you said that this is Kuminga's fault, strongly agree to disagree there. And the fact that the Warriors are also telling him, we're not going to give you that protection in terms of the no trade clause because we might want to move you soon after signing you. What that tells me is that Joe Lacob, Mike Dunleavy Jr., Steve Kerr and company are not just insulting Kaminga with lowball offers, but they're treating him like a commodity and not like a human being. This is the core fundamental issue with any person working in a corporate environment. The lack of humanity, being looked at as strictly an employee, as strictly a figure, as strictly a piece in a machine. Jonathan Kuminga is a human being. And clearly from these actions, the Warriors look at him strictly as someone who they think could help them in a specific role next year to win a title, and who they don't want to commit to long-term. Like in other words, they don't value him at all, yet they hold all the leverage in terms of the restricted part of his free agency, meaning he can't just leave on his own. Impossible. The Warriors hold all the cards there. But the Warriors also are also telling him, we're not going to give you a fair deal because we hold all the cards. That's a dick message. There's nothing that resembles compassion. There's nothing that resembles an ethical approach or a moral approach to negotiations when you're literally telling a human being, we value you from a business perspective, but not from a personal perspective. It's insulting. It's utterly disrespectful. Yet that is the reality that we find ourselves in right now. Side note, Jonathan Kaminga right now is in Africa representing his home country of Congo playing basketball. That's how over it he is with all this. He's risking his career. You could get injured playing in Africa. He'd rather go do that than try to stay healthy and try to stay in town. He's so over it, and he has no leverage. But look, everyone else is seeing what the Warriors are doing. This is not going to help the Warriors long-term in terms of recruiting other free agents. This is not going to help the Warriors long-term in terms of advertising themselves as an environment that's player-friendly. You're not winning that propaganda war right now doing this. You're treating a prized asset like an asset, not like a human being. And again, this is Joe for you. Joe did this with Stephen Curry when they last negotiated his max extension. Joe Lacob was hesitating initially to give Steph a 5th year. Think about that. Stephen Curry, the man who single-handedly helped raise the evaluation of the Golden State Warriors from the $450 million that Joe Lacob and Peter Guber purchased them for in 2007, 8, 9, whatever that was. And now they're worth like $8 billion? That's all Steph. Yet he wouldn't commit a 5th year to him until the pressure started to come on and people were telling him, Joe, I mean, dude, come on. Like, this is Stephen Curry. You don't play hardball and you don't, tighten the purse strings with Steph of all people. This is how Joe operates. And again, if there's any influence coming from this program, I'm saying it. Joe, you're treating this kid like shit. This is an insulting offer. Do better. Either do better or just move on from this mess that is now stretching into August. It's August 3rd. And Jonathan Kuminga is in Africa right now, a restricted free agent. This is absurd. Now, what Aaron Turner, Jonathan Kuminga's agent, has come back with in terms of a counter proposal, and again, this courtesy of Anthony Slater for a new piece in ESPN. What the Warriors are reportedly asking for, what Kaminga is reportedly asking for via his agent, Aaron Turner, is 3 years, $82 million, which would give the Warriors freedom this current offseason to use the taxpayer mid-level exception so that they can sign either Al Horford or whatever deals that they likely have handshake agreements to. We have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. And side note, the reason why I'm not feeling so great about any of these whispers, I mean, it's probably going to happen, but it's interesting how certain information seems to leak freely. Like, we know how much Kaminga is being offered. We know how much Kaminga is counter proposing with, but we don't know that DeAnthony Melton and Al Horford are locked in. Why is that such a huge secret? But this is everywhere. This whole thing is insane. Point is, it's holding everything up. 3 years, $82 million is a more than fair counter proposal. What's the holdup? The only thing that I'm wondering here in this whole mess, there's only one thing that I'm wondering, and that is there another move at play here that the Warriors know about that none of us know about, and they're just trying to wait it out? And who that is, whether it's LeBron James, whether it's Giannis Antetokounmpo, whether it's another player that we have no clue about. Like, I try to figure things out logically. There's nothing logical going on here unless there is another piece down the road that the Warriors are trying to prepare for. But if that is the plan, that plan falls apart if Jonathan Kuminga agrees to that qualifying offer of $7.9 million, which is also on the table. This whole thing is a disaster, and it is August 3rd. Shardoll, my friend, how you doing, brother? How you doing? You can come on the show tonight, by the way. I'll post the link one more time. Again, this is going to be a very short and sweet episode, but if you want to jump on, you are free to. There is the link again. Shardoll is asking about the Valkyries tonight. We're going to save all that for tomorrow because Sophia Jones is part of this show. She co-hosts with me once a week. She's the expert on the Valkyries, not me. So I'm going to save that for tomorrow so that we have plenty of content. It would be disingenuous for me to, other than just mention things like facts, for me to try to give takes on the Valkyries. I don't know shit about them other than what I see on TV. I'm not doing research behind the scenes. Sophia's a part of this program for that exact reason, and she's going to join us tomorrow to talk in detail about the Valkyries, who I think are 500 right now, which is, again, shocking for an expansion team that just lost their all-star. They just came back from a 5-game road trip. I am ecstatic about that. Steve Wilton, longtime Golden Dazer, but throwing a really unnecessary jab at Kaminga, saying he's so low IQ that there's only one player on the roster lower, and that's Buddy Hield. Bro, why? Why? Yeah, the whole, like, I strongly agree to disagree with the folks who accuse Kaminga of having a low basketball IQ. I don't see that at all. I want to play one soundbite too, real fast. And the soundbite is courtesy of Mark Spears of ESPN. And this is a very short clip. But he provided a little update on what exactly is going on. And it's a 10-second clip. What do we hear from him? This is Mark Spears. This was the other day on ESPN. And it's called, Jesus, I'm brain farting here. NBA Today on ESPN. That's the name of the show. And Mark Spears was on that program, and he provided a very brief update. So let's hear from the Hall of Fame journalist, literally, side note, he is a Hall of Famer, talking about your Golden State Warriors. What does Mark have to say?
And I saw Gary Payton II 2 days ago.
Yep.
And I'm like, what's going on? He's like, waiting on JK.
Right.
He is. Al Horford is.
Everybody is.
Yeah.
Right. And
that's it. That's it. Literally 10 seconds. And stating the obvious that a lot of people are waiting. Look, Anthony Slater reported earlier this summer that GP2 was likely not going to come back. I think Monty Poole echoed a similar report. I have no issue with GP2 being on the roster if he's not starting games, if he's not playing 20 to 25 minutes. But if he comes back, there's another Steve Kerr crutch. And you know Kerr and his crutches, man. He plays these guys unnecessarily. He just defaults to them the moment he feels stress or panic or pressure. And GP2 is not a guy that should be having a major role. He should not have been ahead of Kuminga on the pecking order last season. That was, God damn, man. Again, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Steve Kerr. The problem is him. All of these issues are gone if you move on from Steve Kerr. And Joe Lacob, that's on you, man. Like the low ball insulting offers, this insane loyalty to a head coach that has been misfiring for years now, who's never developed talent. Anyways, let's go to Lucian. How you doing, brother or sister? How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm all right, man. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I've been listening to your show for about 2 months now.
What's on your mind, dude? Floor is yours.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to about JK. Like, I think Steph.
What kind of real fast? I hear
Steph
dogs
Curry
in the background. One dog, two dogs. How many? Are you still there? Did we just lose Lucian? While Lucian is trying to figure things out there, I want to mention something as well. I had this thought pop in my head last night. I want to run it by the audience here. We're doing a live show. It's Sunday Night Live here on Golden Days. How would you folks feel if I revised this set of mine a little bit and created a co-host table for the pup? What I mean by that is if this thing was altered a little bit. So I'm going to hide Lucian for 1 second here so you get the widescreen view. And what if I'm here and my dog is right here? Like I get a table or a chair that's high enough. Would that be cool? I mean, would that be like a game changer in terms of just sets in general to have an English bulldog just sitting there co-hosting with you? I would love your feedback. Lucian, are you with us now?
Yeah, sorry about that. My Wi-Fi.
It's all good. It's all good. What kind of dog do you got?
I have a mountain cur.
Awesome, brother. Nice.
Yes,
good
sir.
stuff. And what's on your mind about Kaminga? Go ahead. I'll shut up.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think Steph Curry should speak up for him. At least in this situation, I feel like it's pretty similar situations where there's a lot of doubt centered around like one particular player. But I believe he could be a real game changer. He's shown that since last year. Kerr hasn't really given him the same opportunities as like Paz or GP2. I mean, not GP2, but Jordan Poole. So I feel like if they gave him the opportunities, it doesn't seem like he wants to leave, especially with him giving them like a team-friendly deal. Like he's trying, and he's also said he wanted to play with Wiggins in the starting lineup. He's not getting those opportunities in practice at all.
You caught that. Armando Lara was on the program last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever that was. I'm losing track of time here with all this nothingness from the Warriors, highlighting that Kaminga was quoted in a story pushing that, like fighting for the best lineups out there. I'm glad you took note of that as well, man. Right,
and then you have Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green speaking up for him, saying that they could play with him, but they haven't had the chance. And clearly speaking on practices, they haven't been able to work together at all. So this kid clearly wants to win championships. He wants to win. He wants to be a team player. He wants to be cool with the front office. And he's never said that he doesn't want to play for Golden State. He's just looking for other options just in case they don't want to pay him or give him the opportunities that he's looking for. And with him being so young, if he did go to the Kings, that's maybe like a 3-4 year stop. He can go to wherever he wants. He'll still be young. He'll be in his prime at that point. And that could be another T-Mac situation where they lose out on a potential all-star, superstar, Hall of Fame player.
This could look like we're likely not going to see it this year. If, let's say, for the sake of argument, Kuminga is moved on, like via sign and trade. Maybe it bites the Warriors in the ass in year one. Maybe not. But I'm with you in that 2 years from now, 3 years from now, like the Warriors are going to look awful. Like they're going to look so bad if Kaminga leaves and turns into the all-star that he could be. I'm not saying he is, but the potential is very much there, man. What are your thoughts? So I'm glad you brought up the Kings and the Suns, because those are two teams that are directly linked to the Warriors. They've reportedly made offers in terms of a sign and trade. 4 years, $90 million is reportedly the figure that has been tossed, and that's a pretty low number. Side note, but Kuminga is so desperate to leave, he probably would accept that. But the Warriors are not budging. There's even reports that the Warriors are starting to just hang up the phone with these sign and trade proposals. And I'll say this, with conviction, when it comes to at least the Sacramento Kings, you got to make that first rounder unprotected, and ideally make that shit next year, dude. Like the latest speculation
I
is
have
that
a
the
couple
Kings,
points about that.
well, yeah, real quick, though, the Kings are reportedly now putting Malik Monk on the table, and they're reportedly offering a 2030 first rounder, but is protected. 5 years from now, you're not wake me up when you're talking about a pick that's going to matter soon. And the protected part of it, dude, Kuminga was number 7 in one of the deepest drafts in NBA history, and now you're coming at me with a
top 5,
protected
I believe,
pick?
on most draft boards. He was ranked top 5 on most draft boards before that.
Dude.
So
There was one draft board that had him number 1, dude. It's insane. I just produced a whole YouTube short about Kuminga's agent screwing that thing up, letting his value drop to 7 when every mock draft had him top 5, at least every mock draft that had credibility. Anyway, sorry, man. What are your thoughts?
Kerr speaking negatively about him so often. Like, it was very up and down. Kerr was very inconsistent with his compliments and his I guess criticisms of Jonathan Kaminga throughout his whole 4 years with Golden State. But about the point with the front office, I think the front office has shot themselves in the foot for leaning in on Kerr so much. Like, they know if you get to Kerr, you get Steph.
That's my entire point here, dude. And this is why I'll get into it more when I hang up. But so the Kings, again, the Sacramento Kings, if the Kings really want Kuminga, make your offer serious. Take away the protected bullshit. It needs to be an unprotected first. And Malik Monk, this is where the Malik Monk part of it is difficult, because this whole CBA is bullshit. And now, of course, you hear all these players and folks like me bitching about it. I was bitching about it for years, but now you're starting to see all the players and a lot of other people mad because there is no money for them, right? Like, you see all these like really talented players just sitting on the sidelines, not signed with anyone because there's no money for them. The CBA is messed up. And one of the many caveats with the CBA is if the Warriors are going to sign and trade Kaminga to another team, let's say in this case, the Sacramento Kings, they can only take back 50% of the value. If in terms of the dollars, if they take anything more than 50%, they get hard capped at the first apron, which I believe is $195 million. The Warriors cannot put themselves in that position. So what that means is Malik Monk is going to make $18 million this upcoming season. To circumvent that 50% rule, the Kings have to pay Kaminga $36 million in this sign and trade, because Malik Monk's $18 million represents half of that, 50%. So you need the Kings to either pay up to make this trade work, or the Warriors have to include more to make up for that difference. Either way, it's not easy to move this guy, man. And if you're the Kings,
could probably make another move right now, or by a trade deadline. Jonathan Kaminga signs the qualifying offer, and then he could just walk in free agency, and they could get him without having to give up any assets, and possibly get a better asset on top of getting Jonathan Kaminga. So the Golden State Warriors aren't going to get any favors from any teams in the NBA right now, just because they kind of shot themselves in the foot, and also not speaking up on Jonathan Kaminga's behalf in favor of Steve Kerr. So Jonathan Kaminga, the ball is in his court. Like, he can do whatever he wants. It's up to Golden State to swallow their pride and be like, okay, we're going to give you the money. Hopefully we can find something like later on in the trade deadline. But I don't think they want to give him the money and also give him the opportunity, because then it says Kerr was wrong. They don't want to make Kerr look bad and then make Steph upset.
Correct. Correct. And I'm looking at the other team that's reportedly in the mix here who really wants Kaminga right now are the Phoenix Suns. I'm looking at the Phoenix Suns, like, who the hell? Like, there's only like maybe 2 players on that roster that perk my interest, and I imagine the same goes for the Warriors. Are we talking Devin Booker? Probably not. Like, I don't think Phoenix is moving him, not to mention that 50% rule makes it very difficult. And then there's Jalen Green. Jalen Green makes some sense. Like, if the Suns are coming at the Warriors saying, let's get Jalen Green in this and let's make the numbers work, maybe now you're talking. Maybe now you're not like insulting the Warriors with a ridiculous low ball offer from another team. What are your thoughts on that?
You're adding another guard. We have so many guards in both of those trades, the King trade and the Suns trade. You're talking about guards, and right now the league is going towards wings and athletic bigs. So,
I mean, Jalen Green is a wing, though, right? I mean, would Jalen Green be a bad pick?
I don't think he'll be a good fit, because then you're getting a guy that's not going to elevate on the defensive end. He's not much of a playmaker. He's more of a ball stopper than JK is.
Yeah.
JK has more facilitating potential, and he's shown that in like summer league and preseason games where he can take the ball up the court and distribute a little bit. He hasn't had much time to do that. But I'm like, if you're going to take a risk on like a Malik Monk, who hasn't really grown as a player, he's kind of been the same player. I don't see how he would fit in Steve Kerr's system. It'll kind of be like a Schroeder kind of situation all over again. So, like I said, Golden State has no moves. Right now they have no moves. The best move is just to put your faith, your chips in Kaminga. Be like, okay, prove it then. We're going to give you the money, prove it. Either we trade you at the trade deadline if there's an offer available like a Giannis, or we keep you because you proved yourself that you can be a corner piece or a cornerstone into our future. So but they're not going to do that because, like I said, there's the Steve Kerr and Steph situation. You make Kerr upset, then you make Steph upset. So they kind of have to they're going to end up, if they trade him, it's going to be a bad deal. And it's going to be for role players that aren't really going to elevate this team. And they're probably going to be older. They're definitely going to be older, and it doesn't help the situation anymore.
And Lucian, I'm going to finish up the show on that thought because I agree with you, and I got some opinions to share on that matter. I want to get to CJ. Lucian, any final thoughts before I let you go? And Lucian, are you in the Bay? Where are you at in the world?
I'm in Florida.
Where in Florida?
Newport Richey. I just moved from Tampa.
You moved? I don't know where Newport Richey is. Please forgive me for that.
It's pretty much Tampa. It's pretty much Tampa.
Do you like living in that part of Florida? Like, because I hear it's wild, it's fun, kind of crazy. Your thoughts?
Man, Florida's big, man. You got tropical, like out west, it's just real hot, and then you have like the quiet parts. You got country, you got the city.
Been there.
It's very diverse. Yeah, it's very diverse out here.
My experience, I've done 2 cross-country trips, and the first one was across the south, the second across the north. When I did the cross-country trip across the south, and then I ended up visiting my first cousin who's a lawyer in Miami, I drove to, first of all, Florida is the top part of it to me is really underrated, right? Like the beaches, those white sand beaches of Destin and all those places. It tripped me out. And then you get to the Atlantic side where you got like Cocoa Beach and all those places and all those scenes. What really tripped me out is you drive south down Florida and you pass this. It's like it's a weather strip. I forgot what it's called, but like all of a sudden it gets warm. It just gets warm, dude. And I'm guessing that's where the 365 days of beautiful weather starts, and it gets crowded. It's like, and it's, you know what I'm talking about? Like if you're driving south,
it's crowded out here all the time. Like it's snowbirds like year round. I don't know what it is, man.
It's getting worse, fan, dude. What's your interest in the Dubs? Like, why are you?
I was raised a Lakers fan, so I grew up watching Kobe and Shaq. So I saw Steph Curry at Davidson. I was like, bro, he got next. So I've been saying he's gonna get a championship since Davidson. So,
dude, and is it crazy to you? And CJ, sit tight. I'm coming to you right now. But is it crazy to you that Jonathan Kuminga aspires as an individual to be the next Kobe Bryant, right? That's his goal. That's his dream. And I'm not going to shit on that.
In every way,
but then you have Kerr coming back going, I think he'd be a nice Sean Marion. Side note, a player that he traded when he was the GM of the Suns before he got shit canned.
And people don't talk about the Suns. I'm like, what's literally happening right now is identical to the Suns. Like the exact same thing. Like Kerr is not. It's the same exact thing, man.
Yep.
Like it makes it doesn't make any sense, man. It's frustrating. And fans got to shut up about JK working out in the gym by himself. Kobe did that all the time. He did that pretty much the majority of his life, working out in the gym by himself, getting up shots. So fans, shut up about that. He's doing what he's supposed to do.
You should come back on the show, will you?
I'll do it anytime, man. Let me know.
Love it, dude. Have a nice night. It was really nice to meet you. I want to get to CJ real fast. You are on the program. How are you doing, CJ?
Yo, what's good? You can hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Yeah.
Yo, what's good, man? How you doing, brother? How you
Doing all right, man. How are you?
I'm all right, man. I'm cool, man.
I hear sniffles, though, dude. Are you sick, or is it just a random thing?
Man, I'm blowing, bro. I'm blowing.
What's on your mind, dude? Floor is yours, sir.
All right, so listen, man. So this first comment is to your, I come on, man. I love to talk to the chat, man. That's really when I come on, man. When the chat be talking crazy. So to the chat, bro, understand this, man. Whether a player works out for you or your team or not is not solely on the player. The organization is always culpable. So it is 100% Steve Kerr and his staff's job to develop Jonathan Kaminga. So if Jonathan Kaminga doesn't develop, sure, of course some of that blame can go on Jonathan Kaminga. But guess who else has to get some of the blame? Steve Kerr. So you cannot defend Steve Kerr. He is culpable. He will, no matter what happens at the end of this, unless they make up and Jonathan Kaminga becomes a star, he will be culpable for this. So there's no getting out of that. Either it'll be him or it'll be his GM. Because if it's not him, that means he gave them every opportunity, which we know he hasn't.
Yep.
That he gave them every opportunity to succeed. And so it's on the GM for drafting somebody that couldn't be developed. So however you want to slice it, you cannot blame this 100% on Jonathan Kaminga. Your favorite team is going to be culpable for this failure. That's
CJ, this is the stat that I have been repeating endlessly lately, just to add to your point. Kuminga's 18th in his draft class in minutes per game. Are you sitting here telling me he's the 18th best player in that draft? Like 18th. Like, don't sit here and tell me he's been getting opportunities, man. 22 minutes per game is shoddy, dude. Like, that is not a sample size where we can come to conclusions.
That's all I'm saying. And I'm just speaking towards the fact that, like, because there's just so many people talking about, oh, Kaminga sucks, he a bust, he this and that. Okay, well, guess what? It's either one or two things. It's on your coaching staff for not developing him, right? Of course, Kaminga's gonna be culpable. But it's also on your coaching staff for not developing him, or it's on your GM for drafting a player that cannot be developed. So no matter how you want to slice it, your favorite team is going to be culpable for this failure. That's one. Two, I had a question for you, because the last thing I heard about this is they was talking about trying to work out a deal so that they could keep him, just to trade him again.
Yes.
Just to try to trade him again before the
that is crazy.
That's stupid as hell. That's how you got here in the first place. That's how you got here in the first place.
No, you're absolutely right. And just to add to that, if you're Jonathan Kaminga and your team is telling you we're not that serious about you, but sign the contract, why would you sign that contract, man? As long as you can afford to do the qualifying offer, which is reportedly $7.9 million, dude, that's likely what he's gonna do, dude. I'm 100% with you on that front. I want to add this. Real quick, CJ. I'm not cutting you off here. Just bear with me 1 second, because Solomon's Tech comes in the chat, and again, these broad strokes that Curse fans paint with, and this is a program of nuance, so please don't feel like I'm picking on you, but a lot of individuals like yourself, Solomon's Tech, spews out this rhetoric, and it's just ridiculous. It's insulting. It's disingenuous. Yes, Steve Kerr, as the head coach of the Warriors, won 4 championships. Side note, Kuminga did help for one of those 4. He was literally starting postseason games in a season where they won the world championship. So it's also disingenuous to say that Kuminga wasn't helping for that title. Would they have wanted without him? Probably, but he was still starting games for a postseason run. So don't insult him by saying like he had no role in that championship. That's not true, even if it was minor. With that said, look, Steve Kerr deserves a shitload of credit for that first title. All right. Mark Jackson laid the foundation. It's completely dishonest to say that Mark Jackson did not at least set this team up for Kerr to take him over the top. But Kerr did. He did. He came in. He instilled an offense that these players were not familiar with clearly, and it unleashed something magical. But dude, that was 12 effing years ago. 12 years ago, or 11, whatever it was. And do not pretend that Steve Kerr had anything to do with those KD teams winning championships. He was just along for the ride for those things. Side note, KD did not come back because of Steve Kerr. And yet Joe Lacob just has this blind loyalty to him. My point is, I don't look at Steve Kerr as someone who is like responsible for 4 championships. 1, fair. All right. But there's a lot of coaches in this game who have won 1 and they don't get the kind of grace that Steve Kerr gets. 2022, we can have a debate about that. I don't think Kerr had much of a hand in that. I know a lot of his fans will disagree with me, and that's okay. But to sit here and say it's 17 and 18, we're because of Kerr, get the hell out of here, dude. Like that, he had nothing to do with that. And when you look at what this team has done the last 6 years, which has been the primary focus of the complaints on this show, there is a lot to be desired. There's a lot to be questioned. And the fact that no one is developing under this guy should be a concern instead of a brush off.
Hey, yo, and this all I'm saying. Let me respond to that because he can't be talking to me because he putting words in my mouth if he talking about me. Because I never said that he needed the help of JK. All I said was it's his job to develop young players.
Yes.
So every time a young player doesn't develop, it's a mark against them.
Yeah.
So if you disagree with that, then you gotta zip it up when you're done. Let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this because this is the problem I see. I will say that it doesn't seem like there's like a bunch of teams that's like clamoring to give up whatever they can for Kaminga, right? Largely, it's reporting on the Suns and the Kings and whatnot. The problem with that, this is the problem I see. They got a lot of trash over there. So I don't see how it resolves itself unless those guys, you know what I'm saying, unless Devin Carter comes out in the middle of the year and plays like way above his head. But at that point, why would they even trade him? So I don't understand the fix for this, because unless Golden State is willing to take one on the chin, then how does this resolve itself? Because you're going to lose the trade. You're going to lose the trade.
Any final thoughts, CJ? Because I feel like you set me up for a perfect transition to finish the show up. Any final thoughts?
Nah, man, I ain't got too much to say, man.
You killed it.
Out, man.
You were fantastic, dude. The last caller was joining me from Florida. Where are you at?
Man, you know where I'm at, man.
Oakland?
I mean, this is my third time calling in here, man. I'm from that, man. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana, bro.
Shit, well, I forgive me, dude. I'm not great with names sometimes, and so CJ, real quick. Now I know exactly who you are. Exactly, brother. And side note, congratulations on your Twitter account gaining some popularity during that run, because I saw you getting hyped, man. I saw you getting the attention you deserve. But how heartbreaking was that Tyrese Halliburton injury, dude? And how heartbreaking was Game 7? I'd be crushed. I would literally just hide in a bed for 3 months.
My phone for the really died, so it's died at the right time for you to ask me this bullshit, man. I tell you this though. Listen, I slept the whole next couple of days, bro. I was depressed, bro. I felt like I lost like my second cousin or something, bro. For real, bro. I was in bed, bro. I was depressed, man. I was walking around, bro. My girl was telling me to cheer up, bro. It was bad, bro. But listen though. God don't put you through something like that unless he's gonna take you to something great. So we'll come back.
I appreciate the optimism, brother.
I
really do, man. I really do. And before you go, Miles Turner, are you happy? Are you bummed? What are your thoughts on losing him? Because I remember you loved him. Like, you gave me shit for even bringing his name up in hypothetical trade scenarios, and I didn't blame you either. I get it, but he's gone now, and that surprised a lot of people. Did it surprise you? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, man. I wasn't rocking with that Miles Turner decision too much, man. I catch Miles Turner in that Baker's
All right, brother. I'm losing you. Your connection's falling out, but you were awesome. Nameless, real fast. What am I lying about? First of all, look, I'll post a link one more time. All right, because this infuriates me to no end. You keyboard warriors. It's so easy to just sit there hiding in your mom's basement or in your van, wherever you are, just typing without anyone knowing who you are. So you can just drop bombs, negative, vile bombs at that, and then run away. The link's right there. Say to my face why you think I'm wrong about stating a simple fact, which is that Jonathan Kuminga was starting games in a postseason run that the Warriors won a world championship in. That's all I said. And if you're going to sit here and say that a player starting during a championship run is not important, okay, then agree to disagree on that. But again, the link's right there. All you got to do is come on the show. Unfortunately, if you come on the show, you're now going to be exposing yourself. And what I mean by that is you're going to actually have to hold a conversation, and smart people have to do that. And I'm now putting the impetus on you. Join me. We do have Mike Houston joining the program. Mike, you were trying to come on the show earlier. Round two.
Sorry, my phone died, man. How are you doing today?
It's all good. How are you? More importantly.
Man, I'm doing excellent, bro. I have to hop in here because there's some foolishness going on in the chat,
Please.
Like, look, the JK stuff has to stop. Like, we've watched every dribble of his career, And you can't tell me he's not a good player. You can't tell. Let me turn this TV down. I'm sorry. Hold on. You can't tell me he's not a good player. You can't tell me.
Your sound is fine. Don't worry about that. Yeah, keep going.
Bro, this dude said, oh, what is JK good at? What do you mean, what is he good at? I've never seen anyone stop him, ever. Ever. He's never been shut down. He scores efficiently. He's one of the best defenders on our team. Like, I have to watch a whole season of Buddy Hield doing, man, I'm trying not to cuss, but
no, I don't.
Nothing,
look,
bro.
You can't let it loose. Little cuss words here there I don't care about. Look, real quick, Monty Poole, who's been covering this, doing this for decades, man. He wrote a piece recently, which, side note, I thought it was really funny that he published this story for NBC Sports Bay Area, and they never promoted it. You had to literally discover it accidentally to know it existed. And I kid you not, I'm not making this up, man. Like, no one promoted the story. And his entire story was getting anonymous sources who are quote unquote experts in this game. I think he had scouts, he had executives, he had just people who are just surround themselves in this game, who are immersed in it. And he wanted anonymous opinions on Kaminga. And they were resoundingly positive, dude. Everybody who actually knows this game is saying what you're saying, dude, that this kid can actually play. But you have the
Cyrus
apologists saying otherwise. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, Cyrus, what about when the coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves said, man, he reminds me of Anthony Edwards?
Yes.
He reminds me of Anthony Edwards. How when I saw Kaminga laying down on the ground doing DNPs while I'm watching Pods and Buddy Hield and Guy Santos and Quentin Post, it's unacceptable, bro. It's unacceptable.
Agreed.
Like, I feel like we're in crazy land. Like, we're saying something that's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we're watching and then we want to trade him for a young player. Like, what are we talking about?
Dude, Kerr's influence is to me the craziest part in all this. The fact that people are afraid of this guy, the fact that there is a genuine, palpable fear in the media environment to call this guy out. And now thankfully it made me something because I'm the only guy doing it. I'm like the outlier, but it's giving me an audience and I'm thankful for that. But seriously, why am I the only guy doing this, man? It's insane. It's insane, dude. I want to bring Dante on real fast. You want to stay with me, Mike, for this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Welcome to the program. How are you doing?
All right. How you doing, my guy?
What's up, Dante?
All right, man. Pleasure. What's on your mind?
Hey, man, I heard the other guy that was talking. He was talking about the development of Jonathan Kuminga. I feel the same way with James Wiseman. You know, I remember Steve Kerr coming on and say he didn't have time to develop James Wiseman. If you remember, James Wiseman only had 3 games of college. You knew you was going to have to develop this man. Yeah. I don't understand why they thought that they was going to get away from being able to develop. And then your job as a coach is to develop talent. I don't understand why these guys are Steve Kerr is just not getting the blame. They with especially them, and then also with the Jordan Poole situation, they didn't make Draymond Green accountable for that punch. No fine, no suspension, and it's basically, you know, it's making the Warriors have a real bad look.
Here's one thing. They're saying that we can't develop players, but I see them actively trying to develop Podziemski. I have nothing against him, but they are trying to develop him. They're trying to make him the man. Like, they can do it.
Yeah, you're picking and choosing.
You're absolutely picking and choosing.
You're picking and choosing.
I think Podziemski is fine playing a specific role, whereas most of these
Backup
other guys,
point guard. He should not be starting.
Please don't put him at the 2 guard.
A starting, he's our starting 2 guard. Do you know how crazy that is? It's crazy.
You know, and look, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to agree with you, Mike, Dante, real fast. This is if folks really want change, and sadly I haven't seen this happen yet. All the fans have to do is start booing and yelling "Fire Kerr." It would be that simple, but for whatever reason, I don't know if it's like the Warriors fan base has gone soft, meaning like the wine and cheese crowd have taken over that building. So all the passionate, like true fans who know the game and who would speak their mind. Remember, this is the same group that booed Joe Lacob during Chris Mullin's retirement ceremony. I don't think they're ever going to boo anybody ever again, because now you just have all these like this placated crowd that doesn't express shit. They're just happy to be there to be at the trendy place, right? All they have to do is yell, "Fire Kerr." Boo! Shit will happen, but I don't. Until that happens, I don't know if it's ever going to change.
I don't get it with the Jonathan Kuminga situation, my guy. I mean, you need somebody that's going for the non-Curry minutes, and then also these guys only have 2-3 years left. What are you going to do after that?
Well, we ran Curry into the ground this year, and so
exactly.
it makes you wonder, man, what would happen? If Kaminga would have had more minutes, would Curry have been as worn down? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he wants to score. He has the ability. And then Kerr's like, "Oh, we want him to be Iggy. We want him to be like, no, bro." And
Iggy, pigeonhole people, dude. You can't do that. You can't
do that. Dude. Well, wait a minute. Here's my thing. Yeah. So in the Timberwolves series, right? You only played Kaminga 20-23 minutes. Why you didn't start him none of the games?
More than that. Are you talking about the Houston series or
no? I'm talking about the Timberwolves game. He came off the bench every game. Why he didn't start? Why didn't he start?
Good question. Good point.
Well, let's just be real. Yo, Draymond's cooked. So I mean, I know we don't want to go there, but Draymond should be coming off the bench and.
That's what I feel the same way, bro. I feel like they should have shipped his behind off when he punched Jordan Poole, and then just to add, hold on, just to add insult to injury, they paid him.
Do you want to know what? And you know what that the result of that now is, which is really crazy, is Draymond Green is loyal to Steve Kerr now. Like if and that's what Kerr got for that loyalty. Like. Kerr stood up for Dre, and it ruined everything, right? You suddenly got a divided locker room. All the young players are like, "Oh, great, so we're second-class citizens compared to the veterans here." And again, not exactly a message that you want coming from a leader, but Draymond Green, side note, in case you're wondering like where he's been this summer, like social media-wise, he's on Threads. He's posting like 20 things a day there. And most people aren't on Threads, so they're missing it. I actually replied to him and was very candid in one of these posts, was like, "Look, dude, I know you and Steve won your 4 titles, so I'm sure there's like a special connection there. I know he got your back in the pool thing, and it's all public, dude. And I know he read it, dude. And I had to just write this thing out to him. I was like, but bro, like, how do you just sit on the sidelines and let Kerr just like destroy this kid and destroy the development of all these young people? How do you just sit on the sidelines? You and Steph need to say something here. Like, they're just standing by, just playing the player role coach and respecting the boundaries, dude. Like, if you're serious about one more championship, you better speak up. Otherwise, this franchise is just going to burn and crash.
No accountability, man.
Well, speaking of the punch, okay, so when Draymond called KD a bitch, he was suspended. But when he punched Jordan Poole, nothing happened. Like, that's a bad sign. That's a bad signal to the whole team. Like, okay, this person's above everyone. Yeah. Like, it's bad.
And then not only that, but then you kept Andrew Wiggins for look. Andrew Wiggins was tough during the championship series, right? The next season he missed 50 games. Next season he missed some more games. Dude, why are you keeping him around too? He should have been going. And then all of this. Then you had Anthony. What was his name? Anthony Lamb. You played. Man,
please don't bring up Anthony Lamb and Ty Jerome and all this weird
over Kaminga. You the reason why Kaminga is not where he is in the offense. You're not playing him.
And that season is why I look at Kerr and at least until this show is I'm looking at the front office a lot more. But Kerr to me, when you look at the impetus of blame. What can the front office do if your head coach is giving minutes to two-way players? Like, what are you going to do what are you going to do? Just replace the two-way guys and then publicly create a rift there? Like, dude, this whole thing is a mess, and it starts with the head coach, and it's nice hearing other people agree, man.
Yeah, not only man, and man, look, I think Draymond is a big reason for the whole season, the championships, the loss of championships, the loss of wins. You know, he is a head case. And I don't understand why he's still there. You know what I'm saying? He's costing your team so many championships, so many wins. I understand what he gives you. But like my man said in the middle, he said he's cooked.
And
at this point, he needs to give his job to Jonathan Kaminga.
Yeah, and the
well,
fact
I don't even think we need to stop the small ball. Like, why is Kuminga a 4? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Gentlemen,
wait,
thoughts as we start to wrap it up here.
One more thing. Why is Trace Jackson not getting any run?
Who?
Trace Jackson.
That's a good question. I mean,
why is he not getting no run?
I mean, he had some inconsistencies. I mean, I know he had some offensive issues, but you're right. I wouldn't have DMP'd him for like 2 months, which is
that was.
And then they played him in the Houston series, and he started balling.
No, I was gonna say, Mike, finish it up, man, because we're almost at an hour, and I want to.
No problem. Well, speaking on his Trace Jackson thing, in the playoffs, Trace Jackson was shooting 89%. So I don't know why we wouldn't go to someone shooting 89% in the playoffs. That's kind of crazy.
Right. You're right.
So I just want to wrap it up with, look, JK, he's the second best player on the team right now, even with Jimmy Butler. I mean, he proved it. I don't even think that's like a wild thing to say. And with the way Jimmy Butler's going to break down, with the way Steph's going to break down, with the way Draymond is going to break down this next upcoming season, we're going to be left with Pods and Buddy Hield. And
Julius Randle made Draymond Green look bad in that.
If we go back to the 19 series, Siakam was cooking him then.
Yeah, but
if you go back to the Toronto series, he was cooking Draymond.
Yeah, that was bad. Mike, I appreciate you, brother. Are you any final thoughts for
Nah, I appreciate it, man. Look, I'll be starting a new podcast soon, but I'd like to come on a couple of times, man. I appreciate it.
I have no issue with that. Come back on and when you launch the podcast and promote, come back on just to shoot the shit, whatever you want to do, man. I appreciate you though. Where in the world are you, by the way, Mike? Did I ask you that?
I'm in Houston. I'm actually in Houston. That's my real last name, but I'm in Houston.
So I lived in Conroe, Texas for 2 years, which is just north of you. Where in Houston are you?
Yeah, I'm on near Galveston, like where Webster and past, you know what I'm saying, the southeast.
Water's drowned. Yeah, I remember there.
No, never get in the water.
I went down there with my dog and a surfboard thinking, oh, I'm near the ocean. No, I'm not.
Nah.
My dog got sick, drowned the water.
But y'all have a good night, man. I appreciate it.
And South Padre is awesome. I know it's a far drive, but that spot's real, man. I appreciate it. Mike, thank you so much. And Dante, where are you at, dude?
I'm in Las Vegas.
How's the scene there? I saw a report that tourism's down. Is it as empty? Is it as bad as people are saying?
Oh, it's bad. It's bad out here. It's bad out here. So the tourism is going down and the prices are going up. So it's crazy out here.
Not a good combo.
That's crazy. When I moved out here, man, you can get a 3-4 bedroom house for like $600. That same house is going for $1,200-$2,100 now.
Did you get settled in? Did you get your piece?
Yeah, I mean, I'm straight right now. I'm straight. I'm good. I'm just saying, like, for everybody else, the homelessness out here is ridiculous, man. That's what they don't show you is all the people that's out on the streets out here. It's bad out here.
How can it be on the street really bad. In the summer in Vegas, dude? It's like 120 degrees. How do people do that?
I don't know. I feel for them guys. From what I got, a lot of guys that I see, I've heard a lot of guys be laying in the streets and they be dead. You know, there's like it be, it just be, and they be because they can't get what they need. You need water, you need supplements. You know, if you don't get that,
all right, brother. Well, I appreciate you coming on.
Man, I appreciate the ad, man. Thank you.
We heard you, man.
No, I appreciate it, man. You have a good one.
You too. Hope to see you again soon, man. It was really nice to meet you. I got 2 more people I'm going to bring on the show as we wrap it up. Aim Assist has the voice of an angel, and I'm going to shut up and let you speak. How you doing, brother?
Yo, Saatsaz, it's been a while. It's been like months.
It has been a while. It has been a little while. Good to see you or hear you.
Bro, man. Bro, I ain't gonna lie. Bro, I seen this whole JK thing, bro, and I ain't gonna lie. I hate that Kevon Looney went on that podcast talking about, oh, I didn't get enough playtime. Bro, you got too much PT. You got too much playtime. You got too much. So wrong messenger.
I liked it only because he was poking the Steve Kerr bubble, and I appreciated that, but I'm with you otherwise. like
what, bro? What is he talking about? Like, for example, right, there was this game. Kerr put in Looney. He fouled out, bro. And TJD was flourishing the game before, and Steve Kerr put him in anyway. And I ain't gonna lie, Kerr hasn't been a good coach since, like, he doesn't know how to coach without a perfect roster.
Yeah.
And we already know this. So what do you think about the JK thing, though?
Bro, what can anyone say at this point? My only what keeps me hopeful in all this is that maybe it's not as bad as it seems, and maybe a week from now we suddenly hear that Kuminga's come to an agreement, 3 years, $80 million, and he's on board. And look, if that happens, all of this is forgotten, dude. Like, that's the beautiful part. It's all forgotten. This ugliness right now is ancient history. If Kaminga signs on the dotted line and pretends at least that he's fine and happy with the current situation, this is his team when Kerr leaves. I hope he considers that. But I also completely understand that, you know, he's been treated like shit. Again, 18th in minutes in his draft class for a number 7 pick that was a consensus top 5 until draft day. Make that make sense, dude. And you look at everyone else who knows basketball. You look at the people that whose opinion you respect, whose name is not Steve Kerr, right? And they're all saying Kaminga is the real thing, that he has potential, that he should play. He just needs to play. And it's madness, brother. And here we are. And what I've learned, Aim, let me know what you think about this, because you sound like someone who knows what they're talking about. And you sound like you're a grown up in the room, if you know what I mean, saying that.
Yeah.
I was hoping Joe Lacob was the next Eddie D. And I'm sadly coming to the realization he doesn't have that. He doesn't have the ability to constantly make cutthroat decisions to stay relevant and successful. The Spurs copied what the Niners did. You can't hold on to assets and wait until they're past their prime before moving on. You got to cut strings right before it happens. And the Niners were masterful at it. I grew up watching how to sustain a dynasty. It was an incredible classroom experience. But Joe Lacob is going against his own commitments. He literally has said publicly he does not want to turn into what the Lakers did with Kobe Bryant, and he's going back on his own commitments, man. This is someone who was talking a big game about sustaining greatness and winning championships, and now he's deferring to keeping veterans past their prime, keeping a head coach who has massive flaws around and placating them instead of doing the right thing. It bums me out. I'm disappointed. I really am.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, because if this was any other coach, any other team, they would have been fired by now. Like, I already know this. Like, they would have been fired him, which I don't understand. But I'm not gonna lie, even though I love Looney, I'm glad he's gone, because that's one less favorite. Unfortunately, we are getting GP2 back. I mean, that's just reality. But I mean,
what do you think that is? Is it just because of what Mark Spears said, or is there something else that you saw?
Nah, he pretty much like confirmed it. I think I forgot who talked to him, but somebody, I forgot who it was, but they asked GP2 what's the hold up. He was like, we waiting on JK or something like that. So yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the clip I played earlier today. That was from Mark Spears. I'm saying at the beginning of the show, I played that clip. Is there anything else though that you've heard that would indicate otherwise? Because there is also a real possibility that GP2, like a lot of veterans, is just not gaining any interest from anyone. And so he's just hanging around in the Bay Area because this is his scene for the most part. And maybe he's hopeful that he comes back. But I don't know, dude. I don't want him to come back. I don't
want him to either.
I don't.
But I think Looney. I think with Looney though, he wasn't willing to take like less than like 10 mil or like, what we were probably offering him, which is a bummer. But I'm glad he's gone. But GP2 is willing to take like less money though. So
he'll get a veteran minimum, but that's still going to count for $3 million. So I'm kind of hoping maybe like they can't afford him. But he's such a Steve Kerr crutch, dude. I have nothing against him personally. If Kerr played him the way he's supposed to, 10 minutes a night, spot matchups, now you're talking. But 25 minutes a night, him heaving threes, dude, just that shit just is ridiculous. By the way, what do you think about Dylan Verano in the chat saying that he wouldn't be surprised if Nicholas Kerr, you almost got me there, becomes the head coach after Steve Kerr leaves? Oh my God.
I hope not. I hope not, bro. But this is my final thoughts about JK before I leave. Bro, I talk about this on my live all the time, bro. I talk about this all the time.
How can people catch your live real fast? How can people catch your live?
Oh yeah, on TikTok. I'll type it in the chat. It's been going crazy. You know what I'm saying? All summer. But if JK was getting like, because people like, if you're not a Warriors fan, you would think that JK is like some bum or some scrub, right?
Yes.
But the thing is, if JK was getting minutes, he would be in the same conversation as Franz Wagner, J-Dub, all of these guys that surround his age. Is JK the second best player on the team? No. Whoever said that's a stretch. But JK was the best player against the Timberwolves and outplayed Jimmy Butler. So if JK got the correct minutes, we would actually get somewhere. But Kerr never wants to play him. And that's just but I got a question for you though. I got a question before I go though. So okay. First of all, Malik Monk is crazy. We're not taking him. We're not taking Malik Monk.
Contract or because you don't think he fits?
I just don't think he's on the level of JK. That's my personal opinion. Just the swap. Now, if they put in Keegan Murray that's conversation. But my question was,
even though his numbers took a dip this year, you like him?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
But my question was like, how do you feel about getting Horford? Because I feel like Quinn Post is improving, but it's like whatever center we get, they're gonna have to be started. So how do you feel about Horford?
Again, I've said this before and I'll say it over and over again because I believe it fervently. The Warriors should be setting their sights on Chris Boucher instead of Al Horford. With that said, I don't hate Al Horford. I mean, if you get the best version of Al Horford, meaning you don't get a guy who looks like a 39-year-old, bravo, great move. But if his body starts breaking down, if suddenly he misses 3 months, 5 months of the season, don't be surprised by that because you signed a 39-year-old. So that's my trepidation with Al Horford, but I don't hate it. I think it's a pretty solid move. Again, if he stays healthy. By the way, Kev F, I missed this. I apologize. Paid chat. Is writing what percent please forgive me for that. I just missed it unintentionally. What percentage of the cap is allocated for Curry, Draymond, and Jimmy? And the follow-up question is, how many games should we realistically expect from them next year? Keep Jonathan Kuminga. Well, so Steph's making almost 60 million. I think Butler's making around 54, 55. And then Draymond's making, I believe, around 25. Maybe it's like 26, 27. So ballpark figure, we're talking 115, about 140 million of your cap. And side note, the salary cap, I think, is at 150, 155. So just those three players alone represent, I'd say, 90% of your cap, which is crazy. I get what you're saying there. Damien LaRoche will fast, one of our OG Golden Dazers, saying, Booyah, finally caught alive. Been a while. He also wants to know Shardoll. Sorry, dude. Shardoll's going to come on the show at the end. And Simon, too, is saying that the Warriors should have traded those number 2 and number 7 picks. Kerr wants to use them as late second-round picks. Why even ask for that? Good question. I'm glad. And the reason why I address it is because a lot of people think that are ask themselves that same question. The Wiseman pick, I can say this as a fact, all right, and I've reported this before, and I'll say it again. Bob Myers tried to trade down. That was an intention. Nobody wanted it. That was a weak-ass draft. Anthony Edwards was not even a consensus number 1 pick. If you read all the mocks and listen to everyone talking back then, James Wiseman was everyone knew it was going to be a project. Like, no one was sold on the idea that this was a guaranteed surefire number 2 pick. But it was a weak draft. That happened. Some years, 2 years ago, like I already forgot the Frenchman's name, was the number 1 pick for the Atlanta Hawks, Ricochet. I mean, look, Ricochet, is he going to be like a Hall of Famer someday? I don't know. Probably not. And that was your number 1 pick. Some drafts are weak as F-bomb. And the Wiseman draft was one of those. It was not a great draft. Myers desperately. He tried hard to trade down because, like everyone, they were all really smitten with Tyrese Halliburton, but no one thought Halliburton should be a number 2 pick. No one valued him that high at that moment. And that's just the reality of the situation. They couldn't trade down. No one wanted it. So they went with the number 2 pick and they screwed up because they had a chance to trade up and get Anthony Edwards. The Timberwolves were not ecstatic about picking Edwards. There were multiple reports that indicate the T-Wolves would have traded, regardless of whether or not other people are come out and say that's a bullshit story. Brian Windhorst reported it. And again, the Timberwolves were never adamant about the Anthony Edwards pick. If the Warriors really wanted Edwards, they could have gotten him. I'm convinced of that. But Steve Kerr was not sold. He called him lazy. He told him to his face that his work ethic was weak. And, and then you have people like pretending that Steve Kerr deserves the credit for Anthony Edwards reaching greatness because he said that one line. Get the hell out of here. Anthony Edwards would have discovered greatness with or without Steve Kerr telling him at a dinner that his work ethic was questionable. The kid was like 20 years old when he heard it. Someone else would have similarly told him that. With all that said, the number 2 pick they were just in a tough spot. They made the wrong call clearly. And then the Kaminga pick, we can agree to disagree. Aim, would in hindsight, would you have traded the number 7 pick? Would you have gone differently? I think there would have been no regrets with the Kaminga pick if you played him. If you would have just been playing instead of rotting on the bench, not earning Kerr's trust, there would be no regrets for that number 7 pick. But Kerr treated him the way he did. He's a damaged asset at this point.
I mean, who was in that draft again? I know Franz Wagner. He's not playing him. He can't shoot, so he's not playing him. Who else was in the draft?
Well, and real quick, Steve Wilton thinks, why hasn't JK taken those words to heart? How do you know he hasn't taken those words to heart? I've never heard a single story indicating that Kuminga's work ethic is questionable. I've never heard that. And Steve Wilton in the chat, I'm guessing you haven't heard that either. The issue is entirely Steve Kerr and his subjective thinking, which is only certain players fit in his system and JK doesn't fit. When you ask him why, his answer is because. That is the type of illogical madness we're dealing with here. It is strictly Steve Kerr's opinion that Jonathan Kuminga did not warrant playing 30-plus minutes a night. And I've been saying for years now, I don't agree with that opinion. And Steve Kerr has never shown me that he is an expert on developing young players. He hasn't shown me he's an expert on shit except inheriting a damn good team and winning a title with them. So this is where we're at, man. And and if you trust Steve Kerr with everything, then I don't blame you for thinking that Kaminga has issues. But if you don't trust Steve Kerr, if you try to think independently, you might come to a realization that Kerr is the problem here because he's very subjective and very stubborn-minded with who plays when. Hope I made sense there.
Nah, facts. But who else was in that draft? I know Franz. He's not playing. He's not going to play in Kerr's system. LaMelo Ball,
I think was 9. Zaire Williams was 10. Alperen Şengün fell in the draft. Trey Murphy the third, is that his name? With the Pelicans, he fell down in the draft.
He's not playing him. Bro, he's not playing. That's what people don't realize, bro. That's not playing problem, these players regardless. He's not playing them. Dude. He might play Şengün, but that's about it. Like Trey Murphy, front, he's definitely not playing them. But yeah,
sorry. Go ahead.
But yeah, JK, I think he gonna end up staying, bro, because they giving us some BS offers. We not taking Malik Monk a 6-man, bro. Does that even make sense? If we need a backup,
actually, I'll be straight, Aim. Malik Monk actually makes a lot of sense because Malik Monk is a 6'5" who can handle playing the 1. And that seems to be the prototype for what Steve Kerr wants alongside Stephen Curry. So I could see it being actually a solid move short term, but are we just going to pretend like the future doesn't exist? Are we going to not to mention I'm with you in the sense that Malik Monk is not a game changer like Kaminga could be. Jonathan Kaminga could be an all-star level player. Malik Monk is never going to be an all-star. So Monk's ceiling is way lower, but I wouldn't hate it. But you better include an unprotected pick with that. Otherwise, don't pretend the future doesn't exist, man. I don't want to see the Warriors 3 years from now looking like the Warriors of 2005. Who wants that? So that's my thoughts on it. I don't know. Anything else?
Yeah, I get it. It's just the size difference in the future. Yeah, I get it. But yeah, the whole JK situation is tough, but
it is.
I think I hope this was a wake up year for Kerr for real. Probably not, but I hope this was a wake up year for him, bro. And he finally plays who he needs to. I personally feel like Draymond should take a back seat to Kaminga for a lot of games this season. Me personally, I think he should. But that's my final thoughts, though. But
again, to add some reality to this, if the Warriors are going to get Malik Monk, and Aim, I love that he just hangs up, he just drops the mic every time. And Shardoll, you're joining me. We're wrapping it up here, but the Malik Monk part of this, I touched on this at the beginning of the show, and one more time just to wrap up. The Kings have to offer Jonathan Kuminga a contract for next season that pays him $36 million in order to make this trade work, because Malik Monk is getting paid $18 million this coming season, and the Warriors, because of this ridiculous CBA, can only take back 50% of whatever Kaminga signs for in a sign and trade. So, in other words, if the Kings pay Kaminga $23 million next season, you can only bring back up to $11.5 million. Malik Monk makes 18. And if you don't do that, you can ignore the rule, but then you get hard capped to the first apron, which is $197 million. The Warriors are currently at $170. And so if you have this idea of signing other free agents and whatnot, that's where it gets really complicated with Malik Monk. Although I guess maybe you could still pull it off and just be hard capped at the first apron if they did that. Maybe that wouldn't be like the ultimate, make or break kind of thing. I don't know. Maybe you could pull that off, but you are hard capped at $197 million, I believe, for the upcoming season, or $195 instead of $207 if you do that trade. So maybe it is actually still doable now that I'm thinking about it, but we'll see. Shardoll, you were the last.
Hi, Cy. I'm a big fan of Golden Days. And you make some great Golden State Warriors content on the channel.
Thank you. Thanks, brother. How are you doing, man? How's life treating you?
I'm doing great. My summer's going phenomenal. I have a baby kitten now who I have to take care of.
Nice.
I feed him every day. I give him water.
Do you shovel the kitty litter?
That's one of my responsibilities that I have to take as a owner of a kitten.
Yes. What's your kitten's name?
His name is Buster.
Bravo.
Named after Buster Posey, the manager of the Giants.
Good job. What's your social media in case people want to see pictures?
My YouTube channel is SGA Sports Talk channel. I'm at 434 subscribers. I'm on the road to 500 subs. Sure. So if your viewers love to listen to my content and love me doing play-by-play streams, then they should go over there and like and subscribe to my channel, because I love to.
What about the other stuff? Like, what about Instagram, Twitter? Like, because what if someone just wants to see a picture of your cat and not a whole video of the cat? Like, how can people?
I don't have Twitter. I have X. I have X.
Same shit. Okay, X. What's your handle on X?
SGA Sports Talk channel.
SG. Okay, so it's the same thing no matter what.
No matter what, it's the same thing.
Right. Okay, post a picture of your cat, please, so people can see it.
So my thoughts on the whole Jonathan Kuminga drama. Jonathan Kuminga is a game changer. I'm a big fan of him. He's a great ball player. And Steve Kerr is a effing a-hole for sitting Jonathan Kuminga on the bench and not start giving him enough playing minutes.
Your tone's changing, my friend. Look at you.
I'm like Steve Kerr needs to be fired immediately.
All right, look at
fire
you.
Steve Kerr.
Evolving positions.
Boo Steve Kerr. Fire the coach. Fire Steve Kerr. Fire the coach.
You're a parent of a fur baby now. You're starting to see that life is not always black and white.
Fire the coach. Fire the coach. Boo Steve Kerr. Fire the coach. October 18, 1996.
That's coming up. What are you going to do for your how old? 1996. So you're turning 29?
I'm going to be going to Hawaii to celebrate my birthday.
Bravo, sir. Good stuff. Good stuff, Shardoll.
So what are your...
You're pissed at Kerr right now, right?
I'm pissed at Kerr. Fire the coach. Boo Steve Kerr. Fire the coach.
Look at you with a kitty. How old's your kitty right now? How old's your kitty right now?
My kitty is 12 months old.
Oh, so 12 months, so a year. Okay. But he still looks like a little kitty?
He looks like a little kitty.
Good stuff. I'm proud of you, Shardoll. That's exciting news for a summer.
So what are your thoughts on the Golden State Warriors season next year? Like, how's the roster going to look like next year? Which players would you like to see on the 40-man roster for the Golden State Warriors?
DeAnthony Melton, if that happens, bravo. Seth Curry, if that happens, bravo. Al Horford, if you can stay healthy, bravo. Bring Kaminga back, bravo. If you have an offseason like that, that's good news, man. Like, the Warriors are in the thick of things if they can pull that off. But
Steve Kerr needs to.
If this doesn't get resolved, man, this could be one of those seasons where you you hope for maybe avoiding the play-in. Like that's your aspiration.
I was a big fan of Steve Kerr, and I loved the man to death. I loved him so much. But when he doesn't start Jonathan Kuminga and puts him on the bench and doesn't give him enough playing minutes, I don't think that I want to be a fan of him anymore.
Yeah, it's tough.
Get rid of Steve Kerr and have his coach be the new head coach for the Golden State Warriors.
Shardoll, I never once criticized Steve Kerr until 2023.
Steve Kerr is a wonderful guy. I mean, he's a great guy, but now I have differing thoughts about him now. After he's benched Jonathan Kaminga, not given him enough playing time.
Me too.
Is absolutely horrendous. Like, that's probably the worst thing about him. He's stubborn. He wants to do things the way he wants to. It's like my way or the highway for Steve Kerr. I'll do whatever I want to do, and if you guys don't agree with it, you guys can go the other way. That's his mentality. And that's a stubborn mentality, really.
It's
like,
it ain't open-minded.
Coaches' job is to be there for the players, to respect the players, be there for them when things not going right. And I think Jonathan Kuminga isn't gonna have good words for Steve Kerr.
Yeah.
And he's gonna take these words to heart.
I hope so.
he's gonna be like, it's just like if I was playing football in high school, and my coach started doing stuff, and then he started doing erratic things. I was like, I don't want you to be my coach anymore. Get off my team. I don't want you to be my coach.
I'm still tripping out about the fact that his last name is Kerr, and he named his son Nicholas. Like, how do you not think that out? All right, I'm done. Real quick, Trey Lance. What are your he's looking good with the Chargers right now, and that's making the Niners look a little bad, I think. What are your thoughts on that before we go?
Yeah, Trey Lance was a good football. He was a good quarterback when he was with the Niners. I mean, I was a big fan of Trey Lance. He's to me, Trey Lance is a traitor because he has went through multiple teams. I'm like, make up your mind and stay on one team. Don't keep going from team to team to team to team. Don't do that. What is up with in his mind? What is his mindset from going from one team, leaving that one team, going to another organization, saying that, look, this team is not fit for me. I'm not staying here. I'm going somewhere else. He was on the Niners. He then played for the Cowboys, and now he's playing for the Chargers. I'm like, make up your mind as a professional NFL athlete. You know, you should make up your mind what team you want to be on for the future of your career. I mean, like, that's the thing I don't understand about Trey Lance and what he thinks is like, I don't agree with it. It's just like some things I agree with and some things I don't agree with.
All right, Shardoll, is your summer going good? You've got the cat. I mean, we're all pissed about this whole Kaminga Kerr thing. This is just talk about just an ulcer-inducing situation. If you are a hardcore basketball fan,
I'm gonna make a shirt that says "Fire Steve Kerr." Like there was a shirt, "Fire John Fisher," FJF.
Yes.
FSK. I'm gonna make a shirt called FSK.
Dude, John
Fire
Fisher
Steve Kerr.
Piece of shit, dude. He's just, when you talk about just the lowest of low human beings, I think John Fisher is right at the bottom with just some miserable, like excrements of human existence. Can't stand that human being. Piece of shit.
I mean, like, what are your thoughts? Like, you think Jonathan Kuminga is gonna stay on the Warriors, or you think he's gonna go after?
I think he's gonna stay
his disagreement with Steve Kerr.
I think he's going to stay just because the Warriors hold all the cards, and they're thankfully smart enough to know he does have value, but they're also treating him like shit. And I'll put it this way. If Kaminga decides, let's say for the sake of argument, he's going to sign the qualifying offer, and he comes back on a 1-year deal for $7.9 million with free agency just around the corner, that's not the distraction-free type season that Stephen Curry asked for, which is what you need to win a championship. If that makes sense, you need chemistry. You need to have like everyone on board. You need to have a singular focus and goal. And having a player
I'm so heartbroken
team being upset and having one foot out the door, that ain't the recipe for it. So
I'm so heartbroken that Steve Kerr is not giving Jonathan Kuminga enough playing minutes. And when I see Steve Kerr face to face, I'm gonna berate the hell out of him when I see him in person. I'm gonna say, you should have started Jonathan Kuminga and you didn't start Jonathan Kuminga. What are you doing? What is wrong with you? I'm gonna berate the hell out of him when I see him live in person, and I'll see his reaction.
And Paul Thompson bringing up the Jason Tatum DNPs, and don't forget the previous summer when he didn't have a stacked roster at the FIBA Cup, and he ended up playing Josh Hart at center for a team that did not even medal. So while Cam Johnson saw his personal value diminish, rotting away in the
Sai,
bench.
you're such a great guy. You have a great sense of humor.
I try, man.
You make anytime I'm having a bad day or anything, things are not going in the right direction. I feel that when I come on here on your show, everything melts away, everything goes away, all the negativity goes away. Just positivity, man. Like, that's all we want in life. We want positivity in life.
Thank you, brother. Yeah,
we want to come on here and be positive. We can be negative also.
I can be. I can definitely.
But we want to be positive, right? We want to be positive.
And real fast, there's someone in the chat saying they want to jump on, but we're wrapping up the show. Look, tomorrow, 3 p.m. Pacific time, every Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific time, Sophia Jones joins me for V for Valkyries. Where's this person? I see where you are. There's someone in the chat saying they actually know shit, and they have information. Anthony Harris, there you are. If you can join us tomorrow, I'll bring you on. I don't normally bring on guests when Sophia and I do a show, but if I see you in the chat, I will post a link so you can come on.
Viewers, make sure to follow Golden Days in reference to the Matthew McConaughey movie. Cyrus makes some great content. So if you don't want to miss out, go to his channel and click that like and subscribe button. Ring that notification bell so you'll be updated next time he posts some great content. And if you like my if you like listening to my content, subscribe to the SGA Sports Talk channel. I'm at 434 subscribers. I'm on the road to 500. So if you like my content, subscribe to it.
Shardoll, real fast. I don't know how you have that image there, the Warriors logo for your graphic. However you did that, add your YouTube handle below that. So every time you're talking, people can see it, and then they'll actually go to the channel. Does that make sense? That makes
a lot of sense. But Sai, it was great hopping on your show. I love everything you do. I hope you keep up the good work, bringing a lot of great guests on your channel, keeping it interactive and open, and having people come on here and say whatever is on their mind, whether it's positive or negative. It doesn't matter what people think. People can be. So America's the land of opportunity, and people can say whatever they want to say on here. That's what I like about coming on your platform. You're probably the most interactive platform here on YouTube. And I love coming on here.
I'm going to get a visual element for you soon, like some sort of clip that represents Shardoll coming on the show. We'll do that soon. Shardoll, have a great night.
I would love to have you come on my channel. I'll hook you up. I'll find a day that works for both of us, so you can come on my channel for your debut on my channel. Because I don't think I've ever had you on my channel before, so that will be pretty exciting to have you for the first time on my channel. We can talk sports, whatever you want to talk about, WWE, wrestling, whatever you want to talk about. We can talk about it when you come on my show.
Deal.
But Sophia is great on the color commentator for the Valkyries with Kevin Dana. They're two of the greatest team that cover the Golden State Valkyries throughout the season. But I would love to come on your show tomorrow, so you can will you please post a link, and I would love to join the show when Sophia's on there with you on the channel.
No promises, just because there's so much to cover on those episodes, but I'll try. And Shardoll, regardless, man, I love you. Thank you.
Hey, Sai, you're one of the greatest people, and I couldn't say anything much better about you. I'm gonna ride with Cyrus Saatsaz, and I'm gonna continue on supporting you.
Thank you, Shardoll. You rule. You bring the spice that life sometimes needs. And Armando Lara bringing up politics as maybe a talking point with Shardoll next time. Not a bad idea. I'm gonna work on a new seat for my English Bulldog. That is officially, I got the feedback and people seem to like the idea. So my dog will be a permanent co-host. I'm going to set this up at some point in the near future. So stay tuned for that. I hope that this thing is resolved soon between Kaminga and the Warriors, because it is an absolute nightmare. And we'll be back tomorrow at 3. I can't thank everyone who joined us enough. Thank you. We don't exist without you. And otherwise, that is it. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Sophia Jones, V for Valkyries. I'm also we're gonna talk about Stephen Curry a little bit too, in terms of what to expect from the soon-to-be 38-year-old Stephen Curry. That's important. Have a great rest of your weekend, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.